Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Adam Daus bin Muhammad. My student ID is 2023160183. Today, I want to talk about the introduction monetary policy in Malaysia. Firstly, in monetary policy in Malaysia have the role of promoting monetary stability. Bank Negara Malaysia (BNM) seeks to implement a monetary policy that maintains a low and predictable pace of increase in the general level of price. In promoting monetary stability, Bank Negara Malaysia (BNM) is mandated to pursue a monetary policy which serves the interest of the country with the primary objective of maintaining price stability while giving due regard to the developments in the economy. Bank Negara Malaysia, through its monetary policy combined MPC, executes its monetary policy responsibility by adjusting its policy interest rate, such as overnight policy rate or OPR. The OPR is the sole indicator used to signal the stance of the monetary policy and is announced through the monetary policy statements (MPS) released after the MPC meeting.
The definition of monetary policy is monetary policy refers to the action taken by a country's central bank, such as Bank Negara Malaysia, to manage the nation money supply and interest rates. Monetary policy refers to the action taken by a central bank to achieve specific economic objectives through the manipulation of monetary variables. The main goal are to influence economic activity, control inflation, and promote sustainable growth. One key aspect of monetary policy is the central bank control over the money supply. By adjusting the amount of money in circulation, the central bank can influence interest rates, borrowing costs, and ultimately the level of economic activity. One of the primary objectives of monetary policy in Malaysia is to maintain price stability and control inflation. Bank Negara Malaysia set an inflation target range to ensure that consumer prices remain stable and do not erode the purchasing power of the Malaysian ringgit. For example, the central bank may adjust interest rate to curb inflationary pressures in response to rising prices of goods and services. By adjusting interest rates, central bank can mitigate inflationary pressures and prevent rapid price increase that can erode consumer confidence and disrupt economic stability. Another key objective of monetary policy in Malaysia is to support sustainable economic growth and employment. At the same time, the central bank influence interest rates and credit conditions to stimulate investment, boost consumption, and create job opportunities, especially during economic slowdowns. Conversely, rising interest rate can help prevent overheating in the economy and excessive inflation.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Shazwan bin Abang Mustafa. My student ID is 2023365173. And now I'm gonna talk about tools in monetary policy. Central banks have three main monetary policy tools: the reserve requirement, open market operations, and interest on reserves. By utilizing a combination of these methods, central banks aim to influence economic activity and maintain financial stability. The first tool is reserve requirement. It refers to the money banks must keep on hand overnight. If banks are required to hold a greater amount in reserves, they have less money available to lend out, and vice versa. It's especially hard for small banks because they don't have as much to lend in the first place. That's why most central banks don't impose a reserve requirement on small banks. The second tool is open market operation. It is when central banks buy or sell securities. When the central bank buys securities, it adds cash to the bank's reserves. That gives them more money to lend. The central bank can either purchase or sell securities issued by the government to affect the money supply. For example, central banks can purchase government bonds. As a result, banks will obtain more money to increase the lending and money supply in the economy. The third tool is interest rate. The central bank can influence interest rates by changing the discount rate. The discount rate is an interest rate charged by central bank to banks for short-term loans. For example, if a central bank increases the discount rate, the cost of borrowing for the banks increases. Subsequently, the banks will increase the interest rate that they charge to their customers. The prime rate is the interest rate banks charge their very best corporate customers, borrowers with the strongest credit ratings. Customers with less strong credit ratings would be charged more than the prime rate.
Assalamualaikum and have a good day to Madam Sarah binti Jaya. My name is Abu Zaid Ramadan bin Noslan and I want to explain about my part of our presentation, which is Chart Unemployed Person in Malaysia 2023. As you can see on the slide, we have two charts, which is circle chart and normal chart. In the normal chart, show that unemployed person and unemployed rate from 1982 until 2022, in January 2021 and November 2023. And the left one is for annual and the right one is for monthly. For annual, it showed that decrease until 7.4 and it will be decreasing until 3.9. And for the monthly, it decreasing from 4.3 and it at the end of the year it can be decreasing until 3.3. So for the second chart, which is circle chart, it can be for green one is we can see that actively unemployed, and for the purple one is for inactively unemployed. As you can see, inactively employed in November 23 is 20.1% and 99% for October 2023. And for the actively unemployed is 80.1% and 79.9% in November 2023, decreasing 1%. So we move to the next slide. So for now, I will explain about the analyzing employment rates in Malaysia. For October 2023, the number of unemployed person continue to be on a declining trend, with reduction of 0.3%, which is 1.7,000 person, to 569.2,000 person. In the next month, we can see that it fell to 3.3% and returned to the pre-pandemic level compared to 3.4% recorded. And for the total unemployed person in 2023, it showed that 79.9% of the total unemployed person were those who were available for work and were actively seeking jobs or the actively unemployed. So for the big factor, this issue is on the time it is a pandemic era. Many several causing that we can have in that era, which is agriculture sector. It is because the pandemic disrupted the agriculture supply chain and affected farm to consumer connection. And then we can see that most happened in pandemic causing unemployment in service sector, which is many business in this sector faced revenue losses and some even had to close temporarily. So in conclusion, Malaysia need to be more effective or be alert anytime or of condition in our country. After being pandemic, we should think or giving some incentive for our citizens to control their life. Also, after we having so much idea to increasing our economy, it can decrease unemployment in Malaysia. Thank you, and I will pass to the next presenter.
The first tool in monetary policy to control unemployment in Malaysia is exchange rate management. Malaysia Central Bank use exchange rate management as a key monetary tool. It intervenes in foreign exchange market and adjust policies to maintain a competitive Malaysia ringgit exchange rate. This help boost export, attract investment and create jobs. The exchange rate impacts Malaysia trade, economic growth and employment. The central bank can also adjust the exchange rate to make export more competitive, increase domestic production and generate new job opportunities to reduce unemployment. In conclusion, exchange rate management is a powerful tool in Malaysia monetary policy to control unemployment by stimulating export growth, attracting foreign investment and fostering jobs creation in key sectors of economy.
Second tools I want to talk is open market operations, OMO. What is OMO? OMO is representing a crucial tool by the central banks like Bank Negara Malaysia (BNM) to influence economic conditions within a country. These can explore the mechanism of OMO, its impact on liquidity, interest rates, and broader economic activity with a specific focus on how BNM utilises this tool to achieve its policy objective. Besides that, the impact on liquidity and interest rate is primary impact of OMO on the liquidity levels in the banking system. By adjusting the supply of money through these operations, Bank Negara Malaysia can influence short-term interest rates when Bank Negara Malaysia buys securities and injects money into banks. It can tend to lower short-term interest rates because banks have more funds to lend out the lower cost. For instance, selling security reduces the money supply, leading to higher short-term interest rates as borrowing becomes more expensive.
The third tool in monetary policy to control unemployment in Malaysia is interest rate adjustment. Monetary policy would involve cutting interest rates. Lower interest rates decrease the cost of borrowing and encourage people to spend and invest. This increases the aggregate demand and should also help to reduce demand-deficient unemployment. Also, lower interest rates will reduce exchange rate and make exports more competitive. However, lower interest rates may not help boost spending if banks are still reluctant to lend. Other than that, the government involves in cutting taxes and increasing government spending. It can decrease unemployment by helping to increase the aggregate demand and the rate of economic growth. If firms produce more, there will be an increase in demand for workers and therefore lower the demand-deficient unemployment. Also, with higher aggregate demand and strong economic growth, fewer firms will go bankrupt, meaning fewer job losses.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn Vidi, and for my part, I'm going to present the fourth tool in monetary policy to control unemployment in Malaysia, which is forward guidance. For this tool, The bank resumes its tightening cycle due to concerns over the impact on inflation since domestic demand is still strong. Consumption and investment in particular were judged to be unscathed by the excessive tightening, which are supported by tourism industry rebound and multi-year infrastructure projects. The BNM or Bank Negara Malaysia decided on the quarter point increase to avert potential financial imbalances and stop inflation from increasing further. At last but not least, which is the conclusion of the presentation, the monetary policy in Malaysia plays a crucial role in managing the economic development in Malaysia as well as its ability to control unemployment of the individuals. In 2024, the monetary policy will continue to be accommodating and supportive of both price stability and environmentally friendly and sustainable economic growth. So this is all about the presentation about the monetary policy in Malaysia to control unemployment. Thank you.